But with only 30 meters to go, they face a crushing blow.
I could see that the rock had become like an icy pavement. But if you turn that pavement vertically and then try and climb it, you get an idea of what you're confronted with.
They didn't expect to face ice, so haven't brought the equipment needed to climb it safely.
We were probably 30 vertical meters from the summit, but I realized that that was the end of our climb.
That's it then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
There is a feeling of disappointment there. There definitely is. But there's no time for that. You just need to prepare with the next section and get on with it. And the next section's getting down.
But unable to reach the summit, Rachel and Jeremy can't see a massive electrical storm that's brewing in the valley beyond.
Jeremy's working with the ropes to try and sort them out for the abseil. I look out into the valley below. And I notice these clouds swirling in. At the same time, I feel a sharp drop in the temperature. And I just know inside that this is heralding a storm, and we've got to get out now.
Jeremy, I think we better stop moving.
I can hear wind, which is like, it sounds like a freight train coming at you. And I realized the weather's turning.
Bye. Gina, let's go.
Jeremy and Rachel know it's simply too dangerous to stay on the mountain.
So quickly we just get out our head torches, put them onto our helmets. We throw on our waterproofs and get ourselves prepared, basically for the worst.
They must rappel down before the storm unleashes its full fury.
And then there's this huge crack of thunder and the whole sky lights up with this incredible pink lightning.
We need to move, all right?
My heart begins to pound because 90% of accidents in the mountains happen on the descent, not the ascent.
And now they must attempt the perilous descent in the midst of a raging storm.
On a good day, with clear skies, descending down this mountain is a tricky task for an experienced climber. In a storm, it's just a nightmare.
Seeing the flash and hearing the clap of thunder simultaneously, we know that the storm is right on top of us. We are surrounded by metal, and we've got every chance of being hit by a bolt of lightning.
It's incredibly hard not to panic whilst all hell is just breaking loose around my head.
In the heart of the storm, lightning is striking all around them.
Every time I hear the thunder crash, I think, is that me? Is that me? I don't know exactly how many abseils we've done. All I know is that we've been what feels like hours. Jeremy's setting off in the next abseil, and I just think there's something not right here.
I abseiled past this block, and the rope catches behind the corner of the block. And I can't get the rope out.
It suddenly all clicks.
Jeremy!
This is that really wobbly boulder that we passed on the way up. And his rope has slipped right around it.
Rachel realizes that pulling the rope free risks dislodging the giant boulder teetering above Jeremy's head.
And I shout to him,
Don't break your run! Jeremy! Don't break your run!
he can't hear me. The storm is so loud, he can't hear me.
Jeremy has no idea that a quarter of a ton of rock, only meters from his head, is loosening with every single tug.
I hear this huge, terrible sound as it bounces down the mountain. There's no way he could have survived it.
Rachel fears that Jeremy has been swept off the mountain.
Eventually, I opened my eyes. It was a huge rush of relief and surprise to see him there.
I look up at Rachel. She's looking down at me, and I go, that missed me by that much. If it had hit me, that would have been me. I would have been dead.
He was ashen-faced and had these huge white eyes.
And I can't believe that's just happened.
And then he just put his head down and carried on abseiling.
Jeremy knows that if they are to survive, they must continue down the mountain. But the storm is intensifying.
Now I felt like our days were numbered, our minutes were numbered, and I just knew it wasn't a case of if, it was a case of when. But I had no choice but to go on.
As they press on, Jeremy and Rachel face a new challenge.
It was becoming increasingly difficult to find the features that we passed on the way up.
We pulled out our guidebook and we tried to work out where we were, and we just couldn't.
Can you see this? Here. Okay, look for that.
You're now looking at a different mountain, a different ridge to the one that you ascended.
Unable to see any landmarks, Rachel and Jeremy are lost. In this perilous terrain, choosing the wrong route could spell the difference between life and death.
We're now at a decision-making point.
What do you reckon?
I pointed down and he nodded.
All right. I hope you're right, eh?
Unable to see what lies below, they could be rappelling straight over a precipice. Jeremy insists on going first.
The last thing I remember seeing was the red hood and his head torch. And then I was alone. And it was very, very frightening.
I find myself on the lip of an overhang. As soon as I descend over the lip, I'm hanging in space. Below, there's a black, inky void.
I had no way of knowing whether this was the right way. And it was too late to call him back.
It's a desperate blow. Jeremy has rappelled down 30 meters. He's exhausted, but his only option is to climb back up. Muscles aching, he attaches a mechanical ascending device called a Jumar and starts to haul himself up, meter by agonizing meter.
I'm doing these pull-ups whilst being battered by this 70-mile-an-hour wind. It's just horrendous.
I was really afraid. Here was the weight of his body on the rope, but I didn't know if I'd ever be talking to him again.
I can feel my biceps, my abdominal muscles, everything clenching. It's like for every 2 feet that I go up, I slide 1 foot back down the rope.
Rachel knows that time is running out. Unaware that Jeremy is climbing back up the rope, she prepares to make the toughest decision of her life.
After half an hour, I thought, I've actually got to go and deal with this.
Even if Jeremy is dead, Rachel decides she cannot cut the rope. Instead, she risks her own life by going to look for him.
I leaned back and I remember looking down and seeing this bright beam of light. It was Jeremy's head torch. I just couldn't believe it. I felt like it was the most wonderful moment of my life. And I just completely forgot about the storm and where we were, and I gave them this massive hug.
So pleased to see you.
You okay?
I was just so glad to be back.
The reunion brings home what they now mean to each other. But still, 3,000 meters up a storm-lashed mountain, Rachel and Jeremy remain in grave danger. If they're to survive the freezing night, the next challenge is to find shelter. And their only hope is to reach a small ledge 20 meters away.
I'll go first, and then you follow, all right? Okay, sit back here.
We've been through hell. Now we've landed on this ledge. But it's halfway up the mountain.
Thanks to their meticulous preparations, Rachel and Jeremy have packed a lightweight survival sheet. It's now all that stands between them and the bone-chilling force of the storm.
Each time the wind blows out, little ice crystals come and shower your body. We were becoming cocooned in ice, and literally our clothing was starting to freeze onto our body. I felt completely exhausted, you know, just shattered. Every now and again, lightning would strike. At that point, I thought, if the lightning hits us, it hits us. At least it will be quick.
there's no way we can descend. It would have been a suicide mission.
Exhausted and hypothermic, trying to rappel off the storm-lashed mountain is impossible.
Let's see if we got an SMS.
I switched on the phone and we took a deep breath. And then we heard that sound. It was from Avery. He said, "I'm on the case."
Rachel's close friend, Avery Cunliffe, has received the message and contacted the emergency services.
It really gave me hope that there were now people out there who knew our situation, understood it, and were on the case.
But until the weather improves, any rescue attempt is out of the question. After 10 long hours, a break in the storm offers the climbers a glimmer of hope.
And then we hear a tiny, tiny sound over the wind.
Do you hear that?
Sort of whop, 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 and you can't tell if it's the wind or a helicopter. And then it gets louder and you become more and more definite, more and more clear that, yes, this is the helicopter.
Over here!
And I can see the helicopter, and I jump up and down with the shelter in my hand, and Jeremy stands there with his hands up. There was complete relief and elation.
We're out of here, you know, it's all over. This nightmare is going to end.
And I can see the pilot. And it's like he's so close, I can actually touch him. I'm waiting for this man or this rope to come out of the helicopter, and it doesn't happen.
We see this helicopter just being tossed about like a cork on the ocean, you know, up and down, left and right. And I just look at this and go, yeah, there's no way. It's just suicide from their point of view.
Trying to extract the couple in these weather conditions risks crashing the helicopter into the mountainside, killing Rachel and Jeremy, as well as the crew.
It's devastating. They were just so close, and yet a world apart from us. Jeremy hugged me and he said,
Hey, you know where we are, all right? They'll get to us. Don't worry, all right? They know where we are.
I had to say the right things, but I knew deep down that we were going nowhere.
As dusk falls, Rachel and Jeremy face another horrific night on the mountain. Rapidly succumbing to hypothermia, the couple risk losing consciousness and slipping into a coma.
we are very much on borrowed time now. And he squeezes me. And then I knew that I might not get another opportunity to say it, so I just said,
I'd rather be here with you than anyone else.
Me too.
It's horrible because we're not going to make another night. So we write a message to Avery.
We wanted them to know that if we were not evacuated within the next 12 hours, we would most certainly die. It's a horrible, really horrible thing to do, to write to a friend of yours
and tell them that you're not going to live. It feels like there's no time at all, and then there's a reply, and I feel sick when I see what he's writing back to me. And he says, "Shall I call your family?" It was a chance to say goodbye. But it's like something huge wells up inside me, and I just think,
No, we're not gonna do this. We've got to keep fighting, Jeremy, we've got to. I can't say goodbye.
I just couldn't do it. We've got to keep on, we've got to keep going. I just couldn't bear the pain of the thought of saying goodbye.
But despite her determination, Rachel knows this is a fight they may not win.
I close my eyes and put my hands together and I start praying. It's an incredibly humbling experience praying for your life. I was vaguely aware of it getting light, but it was almost like it didn't matter anymore because I couldn't function anyway.
Against all the odds, the couple have endured a second night. But they're now losing the will to survive.
Well, your brain's shutting down because you're freezing cold. You just want it to end.
And then it just suddenly became apparent to both of us that the wind was dying down.
Rachel realizes that the weather is improving and seizes the opportunity.
I turned the phone on and I called the rescue team, and amazingly, when I dial this number, we get straight through.
Hello, this is Swiss Rescue.
I said,
Rachel,
which I knew was my voice, but I didn't know what was coming out of it. It was like being drugged.
Hello, Rachel.
And I heard this really ecstatic sound on the end of the phone, almost like someone who incredibly surprised. They couldn't believe that we were actually alive.
Okay, we're going to send...
They tell us that they're going to make a rescue attempt at 7 o'clock. But I don't want to get too excited.
Jeremy and Rachel know this rescue attempt is their last chance.
they're coming.
Jeremy said it's coming up the ridgeline, and we couldn't see it yet, but we could hear the direction. And then I remember seeing this helicopter, and it looked tiny. This mountain is huge, and there was this tiny little black dot working its way towards us, and then suddenly it just became bigger and bigger, and then it was right there.
And then it hovers above me. and I can see the winchman at the door. I can see his face. I could see the cable coming towards me. That's when it sunk in that, you know, we'd made it. It's a fantastic feeling, you know, you've made it, and yeah, you're gonna have another chance.
We've done it. We've survived, and I could smile. I knew we were alive now.
After 40 hours in bitterly cold conditions, Jeremy and Rachel are airlifted to safety. Thanks to their survival efforts, the couple suffered no long-term damage, and both made full recoveries. However, their experiences on the mountain did have a lasting effect.
Those 2 days changed my life. I'd set out with someone who I thought was good-looking, a good climber, and now suddenly here was someone who I had this incredibly close connection with. Someone who, as long as I lived, would be in my mind. Someone who would stand by me and be with me every step of the way.
I just realised that this person was, you know, the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
Each day I wake up and I just feel so happy to be alive and so thankful. I'm now married with 2 lovely daughters. Every day is a blessing, every day is a gift.
At the end of the convention, Brandon and Gina head out on a day trip to a nearby beauty spot. Intending to be back well before nightfall, the couple dress light.
I'm gonna leave my purse here so maybe you could take these for me.
His pockets full, Brandon leaves his mobile behind.
We didn't think anything of it. We were only gonna be gone a couple hours, or I guess so we thought.
At 10,834 feet above sea level, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest mountain in Southern California.
And as we're going up, she mentions, you know, this is mountain lion territory. There's also a lot of rattlesnakes in this area.
But as long as you stay on the trails, you should be okay.
Among the most rugged wilderness regions in the US, Mount San Jacinto is the second highest peak in Southern California. With no access road, the only way up or down is by cable car. And while temperatures can hit the 80s and 90s on the desert floor during May, the summit is still dusted with snow.
Somebody mentioned it's gonna get cold because you're going up 8,500 odd feet and there's gonna be a wind. So you might wanna grab a sweatshirt or a jacket, something like that to have with you. So we got up to the top, about to head out for our walk. It was totally perfect. And I guess you just think, you don't have a care in the world at that point. We're the typical young couple in love. Wow. Seeing the snow, I decided, sneaking behind him, that I would mess with him.
Brandon.
What?
I just kind of turned to him and just nailed him right in the head with the snowball, and that point, it was on. It was just so fun, just throwing snowballs at each other in May.
Wait, stop. Listen.
What? What is it?
You hear that? Sounds like a waterfall. Don't get me mad.
So we headed off to go find this waterfall.
I can hear it. Can you see it yet?
Not yet.
Unused to this kind of environment, the city dwellers from Dallas, Texas, don't realize that the mountain is playing acoustic tricks on them. While the sound of the waterfall seems nearby, it is actually rebounding off the hard rock walls and echoing around the mountain.
It didn't sound far, but I guess, you know, the sounds play with you, play with your mind, and play with your head.
Gotta be here somewhere.
Are we there yet? I mean, this is getting to be like a real hike.
A little further, Gina. Should be really cool.
We eventually did find the waterfall, which was not impressive.
Wow. It's not exactly Niagara Falls, is it?
Ow.
Did you get one?
Oh, maybe you don't want to see this one.
See? Let me see it. See?
We took some pictures, which didn't turn out very well at all, and then decided to turn back.
Can you hear that?
This way. Can't be far.
We could hear voices, but we couldn't really match up with them.
It's now less than 10 minutes before the tour party leaves. Brandon and Gina can hear the other tourists, but they cannot find them.
This way.
We couldn't get to them. They seemed to be just right there, and we lost voices. We couldn't hear anyone else talking. And at that point, you kind of, okay, something might not be right here.
Meanwhile, the rest of the tour party has descended without Brandon and Gina and will soon return to the hotel.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Brandon and Gina now realize they've not only missed their rendezvous, they've lost their way back to the station. It's beginning to be a true test of their fledgling relationship.
You've got no idea where we are, have you?
Not exactly. But at least I'm looking for a way out.
He goes, you can sit there if you want to, but I'm gonna keep on moving. I think he wanted to be the big, strong, tough guy that's not scared in front of me.
At that point, it was probably important that I sent a little message of, okay, we can't panic. We have to stay focused on the task at hand.
Despite Brandon's determination to find the mountain station, the dense pine forests and steep rock faces block their path. They're tantalizingly close to the station, but they just can't see it.
I think we're close. We just need to go a little bit further this direction or this direction. We'll see something we recognize and we'll be fine. That went on for a while, and then I realized that no, I do think we're lost. And so at that point, we decided, okay, we have to start yelling for help.
Hey! Is anybody there? Hey! Hello?
As night falls, Gina and Brandon are lost in one of the most desolate and unforgiving parts of the Southern Californian wilderness. The most immediate danger for Brandon and Gina is hypothermia. Lightly dressed, they're at the mercy of the plunging mountain temperatures, which can drop well below zero at night. They must retain body heat, or frostbite, exposure, and eventual death may follow.
All we had was wind pants and windbreakers on, not any type of gear or something to prepare for this type of weather, or food or water or anything, because we originally had only intended to walk maybe a few hundred yards to take a picture and then head back to a mountain station. So we weren't hikers, we were tourists.
Brandon, I'm so cold.
It's okay, Gina, it's okay. You can't stay here. You'll freeze to death. You got to move.
Where?
We passed a cave a little way back. It's better than being out here in the open. Come on. Come on.
Stumbling their way through the darkness, Gina and Brandon are aware of another very real mountain danger.
We had been warned that there's mountain lions and rattlesnakes in these mountains. We weren't really looking to see any wildlife. We were hoping we didn't see any wildlife at that point.
There it is.
Wait, don't go in there.
Why not?
I don't know, anything could be in there.
I can't see a thing.
I don't know if it was just a gut reaction or just instinct or how he knew to do it. He took my camera, which I thought was genius. I don't know how he thought of it.
Give me your camera.
Camera?
It's got a flash, doesn't it?
Turn on there.
It's clear. There's nothing in there.
Although no longer out in the open, Brandon and Gina are still at the mercy of Mount San Jacinto's bitter chill.
Well, that night, yeah, it really got to a level of cold that I've never experienced before.
Brandon and Gina survive a long, cold night in their makeshift shelter. Exhausted, they've had nothing to eat or drink in the last 24 hours. Even so, Gina's mind is on more everyday anxieties.
This was by far the most awkward date I had ever been on in my life. Here I am with this guy I barely know, and I'm stuck. Now he's going to, smell my morning breath, and he's going to see me without my makeup on, and I have dirty hair, and it's all those classic girl things you think of when you're in a new relationship.
Brandon's thoughts are on more practical matters.
In my mind, I'm going through a checklist, okay? There's a series of fail-safes. First off, the tour bus had a head count and a list of names, so they would have known we didn't make it back on the bus. Secondly, at dinner that night, some people from my firm would have noticed we're not there.
Unfortunately, the fail-safes have not triggered a search. With the convention winding down, Brandon's work colleagues have not noticed their absence.
We slid on our butts, I guess, with one leg straight out in front of us, the other leg bent up. and we moved. Definitely shook loose some of the rocks around us, which got a little frightening.
A boulder about the half the size of a suitcase goes tumbling, tumbling all the way down, and then you hear that just hit the bottom of this rock face. You know, if we make a mistake, we're either dead or we're hurt to the point to where we probably will die. Gina, as she was trying to slide down, had kicked a rock or some rocks.
Brandon, watch out!
And here it's coming straight for me, straight for my head.
Brandon! No. Where are you?
This thing probably missed me by about a foot and a half.
I'm okay.
That was really, really close.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The mountain is too steep and treacherous to climb back up. Brandon and Gina are now committed to sliding down the rest of the rock face, despite the danger.
No.
Takes us the better part of a day, and around 4 or 5 o'clock, we finally make it to the bottom.
It's the first water Brandon and Gina have drunk for over 24 hours. Water could prolong their survival, but with no source of food, their health is already deteriorating, and their judgment too.
The sun comes up Monday morning. I wait a little bit longer because my shoes and my socks are still pretty wet, so try and let the sun hopefully dry those out for another hour or so.
After 2 nights stranded in a savage mountain wilderness, with no food or way out, all Brandon and Gina have left is a determination to keep going.
We're not gonna die here. And also, we just really didn't want to sleep another night out in the freezing cold. We wanted to get ourselves out of there.
With little sleep, nothing to eat, and no sign of rescue, they'd been driven on by grit and sheer determination. Then suddenly, signs of life appear in the distance.
Well, first, I'm making sure I'm not hallucinating. You know, we haven't eaten, we haven't slept. At this point, you know, I'm sure that my judgment is starting to not be as sharp as it once was.
You see that?
What?
That.
Oh my God. Hey! Hey!
All of a sudden, you just get this feeling of, oh, I think we made it.
Is anyone in there?
No.
Brandon and Gina realize this is not your average campsite.
We definitely know right off the bat that something's wrong.
Stuff had been buried a little bit by dirt. And at this point, we're realizing this is not a good situation. We don't hear anybody, we don't see anybody. It's just a very ominous feeling.
Hey! Hey, Brandon! Look! Look at this!
So we start going through the bag, the contents of the bag. We're discovering these maps. We had no idea really what we were looking at, but just that there were some sort of maps. And there was obvious writing in the white space.
Brandon, look! This is today. This is May 8th. Someone's here. We're gonna be okay.
No, Gina. This diary's a year out of date. It's May 8th, 2005.
Now, after 2 days struggling against fear, they're losing the battle.
And at that point, we knew we were not getting out. There's no way. There's no way we can get out. This man was prepared. He had everything he needed. We were not prepared for anything. We just had on our running shoes. We had chapstick, a digital camera, sunscreen, and running shoes. And this man was prepared and he couldn't get out. It's very defeating, very defeating.
But the missing hiker, John Donovan, has left Brandon and Gina a lifeline.
Yes, matches. Think they still work?
I don't know how we missed it. That throughout all of his things, bag inside a bag, inside a bag, inside a bag, he had another little bag of wouldn't strike anywhere matches that were still dry. By some miracle, they were still dry. And we decided, okay, let's start making fire.
What's that noise?
Fire?
No, that.
What?
It's a helicopter.
It's the waterfall. No, it's the waterfall.
It's a helicopter. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Hey!
The young couple have no idea whether the helicopter was ferrying tourists or looking for them. Whatever the case, Brandon and Gina may have just missed their only chance of being rescued.
That night, we were alone. It was the one night that we weren't side by side. We slept a good, well, I say slept, but we rested a good 10 to 15 feet away from each other. He did his thing and I did mine. You would think at that point you need each other even more so than you ever would. But we didn't, and I don't understand that. And at that point is when I started to really lose my faith. I lost hope, and I lost faith that we really were gonna get out. At that point, I started letting go, just resigning all hope and accepting it and realizing that it's okay. But I'd spoken to my mom, I had spoken to my sister, I had spoken to my best friend, and I knew it was okay. I had spoken to everyone that I love in the last few days, and it's okay. It's okay that I don't come home. To see the fire and the smoke and not see him, I'm losing it again. I'm like running around on this little rock trying to get every vantage point I can see to see if I can find him anywhere in there.
Where are you?
And finally, I see his little head moving through the mess, and the flames are getting bigger. And I'm just, hurry up, get up here, get to me.
Brandon, hurry! Faster! Run! Brandon, come on! Brandon, hurry! Hurry!
I'm okay.
Just come on, how do you not see this? Again, not a cloud in the sky, crystal blue skies, just amazing, beautiful. And all you can see are these huge plumes of just black, black smoke.
It burned for about 45 minutes or so, produced a great deal of smoke. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. And the thought was, I mean, they have to see this. I mean, if they don't see this, what next? We just kept on putting our hope in this. This was kind of this is our last shot. And we watched the fire begin to smolder, and eventually wasn't putting out nearly the same smoke. And it basically burnt itself out. And now about an hour's gone by, and we still don't hear anything. We don't see anything. And so the thought starts to creep in both of our minds of, that was our best shot. What are we going to do next? I'd always tried to be positive that we were going to find a way out. There's going to be a search for us. There's going to be something. We just have to keep, ourselves safe, and we're going to be okay. But now here we are, in a spot where we know somebody's died. And what are we going to do? A lot of things run through your mind when you're really faced with, okay, this could be it. And it was the most beautiful sound we'd ever heard, because coming up from the valley floor is that sound of a helicopter. I think we both would have cried if we had tears, but we're both so dehydrated, we didn't have enough moisture in our body to come up with tears. But, the pure joy of knowing you're gonna make it out.
We're hugging and we're kissing, and it's just, we know we're going home. It's just such a feeling of just pure joy that I don't even know how to formulate the words. I don't know what to even say. It's a pretty amazing feeling. And if we hadn't had that bag, there would have been no way out. And to know we're really going home after 4 days. I remember turning to him and saying, I said, you saved my life. Because he lit that fire. And if he hadn't lit it, I don't know. I hate to even think. I don't let myself think. I don't go there.
We're just so thankful to John Donovan for his sacrifice. And his last action, even not being on this earth anymore, was helping 2 people. So, certain people just have a way of leaving their mark.
John Donovan's remains were recovered 3 weeks later. The Navy veteran was buried with full military honors. Gina and Brandon stayed together for 2 years after the ordeal, and then separated.
Okay, let's really test this baby out.
Tom's chosen a route that will take them way off the main trails, into the empty heart of the wilderness.
It was exciting. The trees were hitting us. And the terrain was, oh my gosh, we were bumping and bumping. Kind of a roller coaster ride.
I was piloting the craft like I always do. She had total confidence in me.
Oh, that was close.
I said to Tom, thank gosh, it's you driving. And then...
The Jeep just rolled.
It was scary.
What in the world is going on?
Linda, are you okay?
I'm laying there with my elbow on the ground, looking up at my wife and feeling fear.
Linda, you okay?
Tom was anxious that I was okay, but I said quickly, I'm okay.
By some miracle, neither of them is badly hurt, but the danger isn't over.
First thought that came to my mind is, are we going to catch on fire?
Car expert Tom is worried that a stray spark from the vehicle's electrics might ignite leaking fuel or even trigger an explosion.
Quick, we gotta get out of here.
I wanted to get us both out.
Linda is badly shaken and entangled in her seatbelt.
I'll go first, and then I'll pull you out, okay?
Okay.
But Tom must get free before he can pull her out.
I began putting my feet on the dash, the seat, the steering column, and then I got out.
Okay.
Yeah, get me out.
Okay, honey.
I was anxious to get out of that vehicle.
Hang on to my arm. I'll pull you out. Stay on the side.
Don't let go of me. Don't let go.
No, I got you. Come. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, honey. Get your clothes. I got you. Fall into it. Oh. Okay, quick, let's get out of here.
That was very scary.
Tom and Linda have had a lucky escape. Kilometers from anywhere, the Jeep is their only way out of this fix.
Yeah.
You stay there, yeah?
Once he's sure it's safe, Tom tries something new.
I thought, if I can get this back upright, we can drive out of here. I tied it to this little dumb tree, and I hooked that to the bumper, and I started ratcheting it. The vehicle was teetering a little, not very much, but a little. And I thought, gosh, if I can just get it to that point, it would fall, come right back.
Tom was exerting himself and trying very hard to get that vehicle to move.
I tried to move it. It was wasted, futile, but I had to try it.
I'm sorry, honey, I can't do it. Anything?
No.
Me neither.
The Burro Mountains all around them block out any mobile phone signal.
There was a phone there with a slash through it. It was totally nothing.
Did you tell your sister we were out here?
No. I didn't tell her where we were going.
I didn't tell anybody either. So nobody knows where we are.
I guess not.
I said to Tom, we're not going to have enough water.
Very profound statement. We don't have enough water.
The 2 bottles of water Linda brought for lunch are nearly empty.
I remember that fleeting thought that I had. It came back to haunt me.
The temperature is in the 30s and rising. Tom and Linda know that if they stay put, they'll run out of water within hours.
It was a real conundrum for me. I knew the rule. You should stay with the Jeep.
In this heat, the 30-kilometer uphill hike back to the highway would be tough enough for youngsters, let alone a couple in their late 60s. Tom comes up with a plan.
The Gila River was below us somewhere. I didn't know for sure where.
If they hike downhill, they can cross the river and join the highway at a different point. Before they set off, Tom packs one last essential bit of kit.
In the back of the vehicle, I had a pistol. It was a .357 Magnum. The main reason I carried that pistol was mountain lion. Also, there was brown bear around, and I had 2 bricks of ammunition.
An hour since they left the crash site, and the mid-afternoon temperatures are soaring towards a punishing 40 Celsius.
The heat was intense. It's right in your face.
You okay back there, Linda?
Yeah, you?
Fine, hon.
And that took a lot of steam out of us.
You get ahead of me now.
The terrain becomes increasingly perilous.
Keep going, honey.
We turned and started down this trail. It was very narrow. And off to the left was a drop-off.
I'm okay. Oh, that's fine.
As the brush thickens, Tom and Linda are all too aware of the risk of stepping on a rattlesnake.
Let me see.
The cut was deep, and it was stinging, and lots of blood was coming out.
I got something for that.
It's a nasty cut, but they can't let it slow them down. With the light fading fast, they're desperate to reach the river before nightfall. Three hours later, they hear the sound they've been praying for.
You could hear the river, and I felt that we were going to get out.
This is not good. This is not what I expected at all.
But instead of a crossing point to the highway, they face a raging torrent and unscalable cliffs. It's a dead end.
The water was high, flowing fast. There's no way just to walk across it.
It's a devastating blow, but after hours with barely any water, at least they can quench their desperate thirst.
Water was paramount. But Linda, she didn't want me to fill the canteens with that water. She was very concerned about Giardia poisoning.
Giardia is an intestinal parasite that lives in water contaminated by animal feces. In humans, it's treatable and hardly ever fatal. But Linda is adamant.
I wasn't about to drink that nasty old water.
I just said, oh, to hell with it. I drank it.
But I wouldn't do it That was an argument Tom and I had.
We have to drink it, Linda. It's all we got.
I'm not drinking it.
Tom knows that the river water could spell the difference between life and death.
That was very discouraging. I know she needed that water, but she was so afraid.
By late morning, the temperature is already up in the 30s.
As we were walking, it was just thick, hot. It's just hotter than blazes.
Tom and Linda are exhausted and desperately thirsty, making every step an enormous effort.
When I ran out of water, the reality truly hit that this is a dangerous, dangerous time.
Here. Have some of mine.
I was devastated because I was going to have to share some of Tom's Giardia water.
Linda has so far refused to drink the river water Tom collected, fearing it contains parasites.
I had the little sip to get my tongue wet, and I spit the rest of it out.
I said, Linda, don't waste that water. You're going to need that water. I was very worried about her for that.
As the temperature reaches nearly 40 Celsius, Tom and Linda are losing a staggering 10 litres of fluid a day. If they don't get water soon, they could die here.
I looked up, and here's this huge, big bird flying over us.
Buzzards, Tom.
And I thought, gosh, we got to get moving here.
That was very scary. If we don't get out of here, if we don't get water, we're going to be there at dinner.
After 4 hours of hiking, Tom and Linda are utterly exhausted.
Let's rest a while.
I knew then that we're starting to fade a little bit.
Their river water is agonizingly close to running out. Tom knows it's vital that Linda drinks what's left of the precious fluid. Tom is blaming himself for putting his wife in such a desperate situation.
Linda was innocent. She was going for the ride. And I felt guilty about that.
I'm so sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry, honey.
If Tom and Linda don't find water soon, the outcome is brutally simple.
No water meant death.
I was starting to realize that I was weakening faster.
Suddenly, amid the scrub, Tom sees something.
There was this huge, big, prickly pear plant. And I said, Linda, you know what? We could eat some prickly pear here and maybe gain some liquid.
We were excited to find the prickly pear cactus.
This is great.
Linda didn't consume all that much.
But Tom cannot get enough of the prickly pear.
I just ate the whole thing.
It's a small but welcome injection of fluid.
At first, we were elated. We were both joking about how good we felt. Both of us felt extremely energized. Wow, this is great. We're moving. We were really walking fast. But then I started feeling my stomach, and I said, Linda, I have to stop. I had major diarrhea.
Tom.
After the diarrhea bout, Tom did seem, if not broken, just withered. And I just felt so terrible for him. He apologized for being sick. He didn't have to. I felt terrible for him.
So sorry.
It was the most ill I've ever seen Tom.
Too exhausted and dehydrated to move, Tom has a desperate idea.
I had just gone through that diarrhea bout, and I said, Linda, can you drink your urine? And I said, we got to plan on doing that because we cannot lose liquid.
It's a drastic measure, but one they hope might just keep them alive.
The taste in your mouth is awful. But after a while, I found you just chug-a-lugged.
At that moment, I felt that it was one of the only things we could do to save ourselves. I didn't feel like an animal. I just felt like a desperate person.
Tom and Linda have survived another grueling night. But Tom is desperately worried about his wife. By late morning, as temperatures soar into the 30s, it's clear that Linda is in serious trouble.
I could see she was really struggling. It took a lot of strength for her to keep going.
She's had nothing to drink for more than 24 hours.
I realized that Linda had lost her gait. And she was leaning on that stick more and more.
67-year-old Linda is paying a terrible price for refusing to drink the river water.
I was feeling a terrific pain in my back. Every time I took a step, my back was just killing me.
The pain is a terrifying sign that dehydration is causing Linda's kidneys to fail. If they shut down completely, she will die.
Linda was starting to become weak. It was starting to get real scary.
Then, Tom starts to recognize the terrain.
Coming into Saddle Rock, we had passed a huge ranch.
There's got to be a ranch around here somewhere.
I could see on the map the hiking trail.
I think you must.
And I said, maybe we'll come out near that ranch.
Tom decides to head downhill, praying it's the right direction. Finding the ranch could be Linda's last chance. Then, amid the dry, colorless scrub, Tom spots a flash of vivid green.
There's green grass. You could feel moisture. You could put your hand on the ground and it was wet.
Tom knows there has to be a water source nearby.
Hey. I'm an engineer. I knew this was a wellhead, and there's got to be a way to get water here.
Oh, please, let there be water here.
Hey.
I thought, this is it. We're going to have water. We're going to have water.
Something had to be running somewhere.
Please let us get to that water.
This is crazy.
The well is probably for watering livestock, but he can't find a way to the water. It's an agonizing moment. Tom knows he's just meters away from water that would save Linda's life, but he just can't reach it.
It was so close, but not there, and it was very frustrating to me.
It's 72 hours since Tom and Linda got stranded in the baking heat of the wilderness. There's no sign of the hoped-for ranch, and every step Linda takes is now pure agony. As her kidneys start to shut down, she's literally dying from dehydration.
I could hear her behind me. And I would walk, and I'd have to turn, and she'd be a good distance behind me. That stick was in the ground. That's when I knew we were in real trouble.
The pain in my back was terrible. It was excruciating.
I realized that she didn't have a lot left in her.
He begged me to get up and keep walking, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Let's just rest here a while.
I can't do this, Tom.
And I said, Linda, come on. We're going to make it.
I'm slowing you down.
I didn't like the sound of those words. I didn't want her to give up.
Don't be silly, Linda. You can make it.
And I said, I love you. We've had a wonderful marriage. It's been a great ride, but you have got to leave me.
No,
Tom, you gotta go on alone.
And she kept encouraging me. She says, you gotta go. You've gotta find someone or water. Go, go, go.
Two of us can't die.
Okay.
I loved that moment. I didn't want to leave her. was very emotional for me. Very, very hard to leave. That was Linda. I had to go. There was no choice.
A few hours later, and with Linda far behind him, Tom pushes on. If he doesn't find help soon, he knows he may never see her alive again.
I don't know how much further I went.
But now Tom is in trouble too.
I dropped. When I woke up, my face was straight into the sand. My nose was just buried in the sand. It was all over my face.
Tom has slept the whole night, losing vital hours that could spell the difference between life and death for Linda.
That really scared me. I just felt like I had to save her. So I kept moving, but I couldn't walk a straight line. I felt drunk like it. I staggered. I was losing it.
After his 4-day ordeal, the 68-year-old Vietnam vet's body is finally giving up, and he's now losing control of his mind.
I've never experienced anything like that in Vietnam. Never, ever, ever. I felt very close to death. The thoughts started coming into my mind. Tom, this is your last day on Earth. And I began to realize this is it. And I dropped to my knees and I put my hands like this. And I prayed to God. God, I'm at the bottom of my life. Please help me. Please help me. And I know that you and Linda don't always see eye to eye, but please save her too. I just said it right out loud. And I heard a whoop, whoop, whoop. And then it looked like they were going away from it. So I fired 3 shots in the air. And right up there was that young medic waving at me. was a miracle. God had answered my prayer. I cannot describe the feeling that is that you're alive and they're going to save you.
The search and rescue helicopter was called out by 2 hikers who found Linda's note pinned to the upturned Jeep. Tom directs the rescue team to where he left Linda, but he has no idea if she's still alive. 10 minutes later, they find her.
And I look over, and there is Linda laying there. I looked at that medic, and he looked at me, and he did this. He did this. I'm sorry. Linda was alive.
Hospital treatment saved Linda's life, but the ordeal left a serious legacy. Dehydration destroyed most of her intestine, and she now needs an intravenous drip to survive.
This happened to me, and I've got to make the most of it because I've got a lot more life in me.
I still, to this day, feel guilty. I have to work on that all the time. I love her so much. I will always take care of her.